Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Bobby. Guys, today we're going to react to Did you know that Jesus is appearing to Muslims by the millions? By the channel Daily Dose of Wisdom. Guys, don't hate me, my subscriber sent me this video to react to. I believe this is a Christian channel and I can't wait for their claims. With no further ado, let's have a look.
There are 8 billion people in the world. The people who have never heard of Jesus do not have dreams of him.
Yeah. But there definitely are people who have never heard of Jesus and they have these visions, they have these dreams.
Bart Ehrman and Justin Bass are on the Unbelievable podcast. They're having a debate about Jesus. Did he actually rise from the dead? If he is risen from the dead, shouldn't there be some kind of external, contemporary, modern proof of that? Well, Justin Bass gets into this phenomenon, which is very fascinating, which is the amount of people who are claiming to have seen a vision or a dream of Jesus in the modern era in 2023. I want to say this as a teaser because I have a commentary to make here at the end of this video that I'm going to get into in a little bit more depth. And I'm going to give you as a teaser a little data point here. 25% of Muslims in the Middle East who come to Christ do so having seen him first in a vision or a dream. 25%.
Okay, 25% sounds like a lot, so that means 1 in 4 Muslims that converted to Christianity had a vision of Jesus. But then the real question is, of course, how many Muslims convert to Christianity? If we say 4 people converted, then 1 had a vision. My point is, even though 25% sounds like a lot, we don't know the original number of people actually converting to Christianity from Islam. And then moreover, those people that want to convert to Christianity, I would say they must have had some sort of knowledge about Christianity prior to that. They probably got interested in it. I didn't convert to Islam out of nowhere. It's not as if I just woke up one day and thought, I'm going to be a Muslim. No, I actually opened up the Quran and studied Islam and came to the rational conclusion that it makes sense. So those people that then in turn have visions of Jesus, dreams about Jesus, yeah, of course that can happen if you already study Christianity.
With that being said, let's dive into the topic.
The fact that Jesus is appearing all over the world, almost every nation, for the last 2,000 years, to Hindus, to Buddhists, to Muslims, to Jews, and they're converting. I don't know of any other faith that could make such a claim. So this is I think, a unique phenomenon. There's even I think Bart's aware of this.
I absolutely wouldn't say that this is a unique phenomenon because I heard Muslims speak about having dreams of Prophet Muhammad. I heard Hindus saying that they saw Krishna, Vishnu, etc., etc. So I wouldn't say that this is unique.
Because he referenced Philip Wheaton's book, Visions of Jesus, which I'm had enjoyed reading in preparation for my book, and he talks about how there's even a separate study in the psychological understanding of the paranormal and of these type of things called Christic visions because they're so common and they're so.
But it's not surprising either that they would be common, quote unquote, because Christianity up until now is the largest world religion. So therefore Christianity is pretty widespread. Even here in Asia where I'm living, you have Christians. In Africa you have Christians everywhere, and therefore everybody heard about Jesus. Therefore it wouldn't be too surprising.
This is happening so often. So
they're acting as if some people on a lonely island all of a sudden see Jesus.
What I would say is it's really truly a unique phenomenon with, again, the person of Jesus. So this is just another line of evidence to add to all these others that we've been talking about that I think suggests this Jesus rose from the dead.
Okay. But well, I don't really have anything to say about it. I mean, you know,
I'm pretty sure you do, but
oh no, I really don't. I mean, because I don't think it's any evidence of anything. I mean, people have dreams about all sorts of things. It doesn't mean the thing is real. I mean, fair enough. So I'm sorry, I've never thought about it, studied it. I read this book, and it was a good book. It was very weird, very strange. I don't believe it really happened. As you know, the film disappeared.
I don't. But he interviewed. Just so you know, he's talking about a film that they believe they saw Jesus. I don't buy that either. Okay. But there was 32 individuals he interviewed that gave people from Canada, people from Australia, people from America that gave powerful. I was convinced that
people have dreams and visions of something like Christ.
Well, it's not true that it's not true that it only happens in Christianity, of course.
Okay, what other?
Well, it's very famous in the ancient world. I mean, people in one of the great healing gods of the Greeks was Asclepius. And the way the healing rituals worked is that there was a shrine of Asclepius. He was a divine being, a Greek divine being who could heal people. And people who were had a problem. They had breast cancer, or they had a maimed limb, or they had cancer. They had whatever they had. They were blind. They'd go to an Asclepium. It was called Asclepium, and it would and they would. The way it worked is you would go to sleep in there, and you'd spend and Asclepius would come to the person and heal them. And we have...
I personally, having looked into ancient rituals, would of course have to assume that this is some sort of mystic vision. Back in the day, those people were involved in all kinds of psychedelic rituals, and therefore they went to sleep is a code word here, I would have to assume, for inducing a vision. And in those visions, they would see those mystical beings.
Abundant testimony,
I have to assume.
Hundreds of testimonies that this worked. And we actually have a number of these Asclepia that have been dug up by archaeologists that they're actually pretty interesting, because they would make representations of the body part that got healed. And so you'd have their walls covered with breasts and penises and arms and eyes and ears, depending on what. And so it was all based on a dream cult. And Asclepius isn't the only one. We have all sorts of cults involving Zeus, for example. And so throughout history, of course, there have been lots of cults that claim that they're, the person is being dreamed of.
And absolutely. If you look into the ancient Aztecs, for example, Quetzalcoatl, when they are in contact with the gods, quote unquote, and the gods appear to them and tell them to sacrifice all the children. People have been in contact with all kinds of deities, had visions about certain deities, but that does not mean, therefore, that a particular religion is right because you see a deity that religion circle their whole theology around. Islam does not circle their theology around Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, but the basis of Islam is the worship of one God. So therefore, newsflash, we believe in Jesus as well. We simply do not believe that Jesus is God. Why is this so hard to understand?
History. I've learned a lot about Asclepius, but I just have to ask you, Bart, who has Asclepius appeared to lately?
Just last night, I had a really interesting dream. And it proves that Asclepius...
But that is not proof either, because back then Asclepius was present in the zeitgeist, in the collective consciousness, if you will, of the people, because they worshipped a certain religion. If we're talking about Christianity, Christianity is very present to this very day. It is still the biggest religion on paper. Therefore, it's not surprising that Jesus is appearing to Christians or people that are interested in Christianity today.
From the dead, because I dreamed about it.
Let me ask you this. If people from all over the world started thinking that Asclepius was appearing to them, or Apollonius of Tyana, or Moroni, or any of them, wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't you go, wow, there may be something?
That would be something.
He's right, that would be something, because that religion is dead. Nobody talks about Asclepius any longer. So if he would start appearing, that would be indeed surprising. About Jesus, on the other hand, we hear every day. Even our calendar is based upon Jesus.
But it's happening with Jesus.
I don't think so.
No, it's a fact that it's happening.
No, it's not.
It's just whether or not he is actually appearing to them.
There are 8 billion. There are 8 billion people in the world. The people who have never heard of Jesus do not have dreams of him.
No, one of the examples in my book is Samuel Morris, a guy from Libya, and he heard the voice of Jesus. He went to Taylor. I don't know if you heard of Taylor University.
How do you know it's
they
the
have
voice
a statue for him. They dedicated a whole hall for him. He had never heard of Jesus. He heard the voice of Jesus. He survived this tribal attack. It's an amazing story. I mean, again,
it's amazing. Great.
Like Pincus Lepide, you should look into these. These are powerful. But there definitely are people who have never heard of Jesus, and they have these visions. They have these dreams.
Alright, the original video cuts off there. After that, we have a commentary of the Christian reacting to this. However, I do not want to do a further reaction to a reaction to a reaction to a reaction. I'd rather sum up this video and review quickly what has been said. If we're talking about people having visions about Jesus, especially Muslims having visions about Jesus, this is a Christian claim. Hey, haven't you seen this Muslim? He had a vision of Jesus and then he converted to Christianity. Let me point you towards a man called Ibn Arabi. Back in the day, he was known as Sheikh al-Akbar. Nowadays, he's seen as a controversial Muslim figure by some, and others say that he was the greatest sheikh to ever live. Nevertheless, despite all of that, this is a Muslim scholar, and he was writing about his own spiritual experiences. In his own spiritual experiences, he encountered Jesus as well. He even claimed that he had dialogues with Jesus, and Jesus would tell him about enlightenment, about the path of spirituality, etc., etc., you name it. nevertheless, the man was a devout Muslim. So his encounter with Jesus, real or not, did not lead him to Christianity, did not lead him to leave Islam. Quite the opposite. Yet again, he was a phenomenal scholar. And this man interpreted his vision as a meeting with the prophet Jesus, a spiritual master, if you will, from whom he can learn. And yet again, as Muslims, we do believe in Jesus. Moreover, we do believe that Jesus is the Messiah. And we do believe that Jesus will return. Yes, we do believe all of that. And therefore, even from a Muslim perspective, if somebody dreams about Jesus or has a vision of Jesus, I would say good for them. Congratulations. I hope this vision was real and it was not a deception, which it of course could be, but let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say it was real. From our worldview, Jesus was a Muslim. Jesus was a prophet, a spiritual teacher that taught us how to submit our will to God. People don't understand what Islam is. They make it so complicated, but it is so simple. The prophets were teachers that told us how to submit our will, our ego ultimately, to God. How to understand that God is the greatest. Allahu Akbar. That's it. God is the greatest and everything else is creation and is beneath him, created by him. Nothing can compare to God. I have to laugh because it is so simple. So therefore, if I would have a vision of Jesus, cool, that's awesome. I would see a creation of God. Highly exalted, of course. The Messiah, amazing. A spiritual teacher, a prophet, phenomenal, but not God. If I would see Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, again, amazing, phenomenal, that's great. I believe there is a hadith that even says, if you see me in a dream, you surely saw me. So that means if you have a vision of Prophet Muhammad, it is surely real. Amazing, that would be beautiful, but I'm not seeking any spiritual experiences whatsoever. I come from a past of spiritual experiences. I was dabbling with the new age, psychedelics and whatnot, yoga, meditation, etc., you name it. I had plenty of spiritual experiences. I don't need any more, thank you very much. It was not a spiritual experience in that sense that led me to Islam, but rationality, logic, the preservation of the Quran, the message itself, the hierarchy of God. Islam makes sense. Rationally, if you use your intellect, if you use intelligence, you can look at Islam and understand why it is the superior system to life. But no, that's not what you guys want to talk about. You want to tell me about people that had a vision and therefore, they converted. This is an appeal to emotion. Alright guys, and this is it for today's video. If you liked it, leave the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, guys, please do so. And if you want to support this channel via Patreon, for example, all the links are in the description box below. Thank you so much, guys, for your ongoing support. And as always, may God bless you all. Much love and peace.